I'm 34 years old. I'm in a relationship with a guy 32 years old. We have been living together for 3 years, no kids yet. I think I should raise my profile and keep the relationship alive. So far, we are living a very difficult life. We don't consider each other. We don't give in to each other. Love is being lost. We have the same income. We both have a premarital apartment each. He bought it himself, and my parents bought it for me. The reason for the guy to move in was that he found a new good job in my neighborhood. Before that, he did not want to move in because we are very different in life, and on this ground from his side, we're constantly quarreling. I was also afraid that our moving out would be fraught with separation. But at that time, we had already applied for marriage registration, so there was no point in stalling. He once shared the advice that he gave him a hairdresser. Not a move-in with me, but better that I moved in with him, so he will not need to get used to a new place, and I will live on the birds and will be malleable. I fully realized that he would really be more comfortable that way, and now he is going along with the fact that we are living at my place. He's giving in to me. And in my opinion, it doesn't matter who moves in with who. From the moment we move in, the house is shared. Rights and rules in it are shared and agreed upon until the declaration of the end of the relationship. He was fine with that, but only in words. The specifics of our relationship are such that we communicate perfectly and cheerfully when it comes to simple conversations and usual events, trips to his friends, to work, to his parents, routine business. But when something unplanned happens, something off schedule or some issue, an argument, then all hell breaks loose. The reasons for our quarrels are not cheating, insults, and similar offenses, but all sorts of little things that are embarrassing to think that you can fight about it. Probably, it is necessary to stop considering the reasons for quarrels as trifles. All reasons for quarrels require attention. They all concern such important issues as equality, mutual respect, mutual comfort. Even if the reason seems petty, it is just a reason, and the conflict happens because each feels disrespected by the other and sees it as a desire to dominate. This is very important and is the cause of most conflict in different couples. After we got married, the arguments increased to once a week. After a quarrel, he can be silent for 4 days, ignoring me. I cannot bear to be in such an atmosphere. These days I sleep in rented apartments. And he doesn't write, doesn't ask where I am. When I arrive, he pretends to withdraw and even apologizes, lying about missing me and being upset that I'm not here. I don't believe it, because when you miss me, you can just text, "Come over," and I'll be there. I don't expect apologies, pardons, and flattery, just to let you know when hell is over and you can go home. After such heart-to-heart talks a week later, everything starts again. Silence and unwillingness to reconcile first. It's not just that. It's not empty willfulness. But it is important to me that the reconciliation is initiated by my spouse. One time he even filed for divorce while we were at work. I signed that petition too, but when I got home in the evening, he was standing there in tears asking if I was going to leave like that, if my love was gone. It was the second time in 3 years he had talked about feelings. The first time was a year ago when he kicked me out of his house on New Year's Eve and I silently walked to the exit. And the reason was because I asked him for help in the wrong tone of voice when the lock on the door went bad. I asked for help in the wrong tone when the door lock went bad. There are 2 major problems I see between us at the moment. He often snaps at me and mimics some of my phrases. I don't like it, but I prefer to keep quiet so as not to provoke an argument. A couple of times I tried to ask, "Why are you snapping at me?" But it turned into a new fight where he proved that he was talking normally and I was picking on him for nothing. At the same time, when the opposite happens, when he thinks that my answer is snapping at him, he immediately explodes, tells me that I treat him badly, and goes into silence for 4 days. If I come up and ask to talk, to sort things out, explain my thoughts during my answer, justify myself, he at first prickles and booing, but eventually makes peace. And without my excuses and apologies to contact does not go. What to do? Patience and wait. How long will it last? I have no strength and patience, withstood 4 days, and still come up with a conversation. He says that such silence is normal for him, it does not pressurize him, and he can live like this for 6 months. For me, it is a taboo in family relations. I cannot decide whether this is a good reason for our separation and whether we have a chance that he or I will change. He often buys things for me without my knowledge. In his opinion, he improves my life. He bought me a new smartphone with good brains, but uncomfortable buttons, which I do not need, and I did not ask for it. I am an accountant for work with suppliers. I have a new challenging job. I need a familiar and comfortable smartphone for regular correspondence, and this gift would worsen the quality of my life. I explained to him, returned it to the store. I'm a conservative. I don't like to get used to new things, and it annoys my husband terribly. I recently had the head from the gear knob in my car fall off. My husband was on vacation, texting that it was lying around, he was bored. I took a picture of the damage, asked for glue to make him laugh. He agrees, but when we meet, he gets into the car abruptly and silently, and instead of giving me glue, he starts tearing and removing my pen in the car. He already has another pen in his hand from another car of a different shape, and he decided that it is better for me to put it. The car is manual. I use this knob every day, and it's important to me that it's familiar. It's my comfort, my outlet. Can't you at least consult me, ask my opinion? I think that he should not interfere with his opinion, and he thinks that driving with a glued handle is nonsense. Apparently, it is his concern and help, albeit intrusive. He did not respond to requests to stop. I managed to shout at him in a raised tone of voice. He was mortally offended. I taped up my pen myself, regretting that I had even told him about it. It was not a complaint on my part, just in my understanding of the usual communication about daily affairs with a loved one. But he decided to do it his way without warning me at an important moment for me. But to take offense at me? I don't understand it. I think he is overly resentful. I don't think we're right for each other. We have different opinions. Or maybe it's his concern and I reject it all the time. For example, he offered to buy a new microwave, supposedly to make it quieter and not to wake me up in the morning. He gets up earlier. But I've never complained about the noise. The microwave doesn't wake me up. But I decided to play along and pretend I was interested in the purchase. Since a week earlier I refused to choose a sink with him, asked to buy without me any to his taste, and he took offense at this. There was a fight with silence. It was concluded that I am bad to him, not interested in our lives. We keep wanting to incriminate each other. He probably wants to change the space of the house. He probably doesn't like a lot of things, but it offends him that I let him change things for his money, but I don't welcome it. For the sake of avoiding a fight and showing my involvement, I went to the store with him and he bought an expensive microwave. I said, let it be as if for my birthday. It is for the sake that he did not spend any more money and did not think from now on what to give me. I did not tell him these arguments, expressed satisfaction with the gift. At home, we turned on the new microwave and found out that at the end of work it emits a repeated shrill squeak, and this function does not turn off. I'm sleeping behind the wall. I was upset because originally this hypocritical idea was supposedly out of concern for my sleep, and now I was trapped. The old microwave is much quieter, but if I refuse the gift, there'll be a fight. Out of nowhere, nothing was going to happen, and here we go again. I feel like my husband fooled me again by forcing his unnecessary purchase on me. My husband probably didn't expect it. He wanted to buy more modern appliances for the house than the old ones. I don't think it was hypocrisy or a desire to fool me. It was his investment in the overall household and the apartment. Maybe that's how I perceive hostility. I kept silent, but asked him if he wanted to keep it. Would he then be able to turn it off himself before the alarm sounded? He looked at me silently for a long time with his expressive eyes, and then mocked me by repeating my phrase in a high-pitched tone. I think I don't deserve to be treated like that. In this situation, seeing how upset I was, my hands were shaking. He could have said something comforting to me, but he didn't. I remained silent to both his teasing and the absurd microwave situation. At that moment, I was without clothes in one apron in the kitchen, making him dinner. This is the second problem in our household. He asked if I wanted to put my underwear on. I said no. I was offended by the microwave. It literally happened in literally 1 minute. In a different situation, I would have put them on in silence. And at this point at my tone, he took offense, went to his room, and went off on me. His tone from a minute earlier is obviously allowed, and my tone is not. My questions and explanations on the subject hit a wall of incomprehension. On the subject of dressing at home, my husband has long said that it is unpleasant and unesthetic for him to see a naked body and I should wear underwear. I heard him, and I dress in front of him most of the time. I've decided not to obsess about it for the sake of the relationship. About the apron, I decided to try what he says. Maybe this form of dressing is okay too, because you can't see anything. The first time a couple days ago so passed, he even liked it, clapped on the butt, and had fun. And yesterday, suddenly disliked it. I have a figure without excess weight, clean skin, tan as he likes. I observe maximum hygiene and care. After he took offense and left, I immediately got dressed. He didn't like it. I asked him what was wrong with me getting dressed. Why was he offended? It's normal to try to avoid a scandal. I didn't hear an answer. I started a silence. He stands his ground. I want to understand. He's not disgusted by my naked body during intercourse, but he is disgusted at any other time. Can this be a variant of the norm in a relationship, or is it a matter of low importance? And following almost always his wishes, I am naked very rarely in my house. In response to him, I have no rules and demands. Yes, I'm just afraid to express them. For example, if I want to relax in the living room, we watch only what he wants on TV. I can lie next to him, but I cannot watch something of my own even sometimes. All in all, we live with torment. He is always watching something, and I want silence after a noisy working day, but I have the right to either lie with him and listen to what he is watching, or I can go to the kitchen. And I do it with no hard feelings and no questions asked. We can only watch what he chooses, and my movie I have to watch on my smartphone, although I rarely watch anything, but I want to once every few months. I have to catch a moment when he's not home to watch a series. Although he watches around the clock everything in a row, but not my series and not with me. I don't think it's fair. I adjust to him with my underwear, and he doesn't adjust to me in anything. I don't want to be in the kitchen. It's his house, but it's my house too. Shared, as agreed in the beginning. It's a petty question, but I want to relax after work too. We have a split budget. I'm not lazy. And if I now, on the basis of his resentment over underwear, put the issue of TV viewing schedule on the table, it is fraught with a breakup. I can't figure out how I can raise my value to my husband so that these scenes and injustices don't happen. Should I choose the tactic of standing up for my opinions, schedules, arguments? Or just adjust to him in everything, tolerate, and it will lead to something good? It's hard to talk about love now, because it used to be very strong from my side, but now I don't feel anything. And I don't think he loves me. Is he unhappy with me? Should I ask him about it and ask him to break up? I don't know what to do. And we don't talk about children. We had a good time once, but now it's over, it's over. I have to admit, I've never been popular with men. This is my second marriage, and I've never been in another relationship. He said that girls used to peck at his looks, but ran away from his feisty character and demands, and I'm the only one who stays and endures. He says this is his first long-term relationship, if you don't mean sex, and a relationship of a couple weeks. Says he got married of his own free will because he wanted to. Surprisingly, I am happy when he goes out with friends or goes away. I can finally rest my soul. Everything in the house is his way. I'm not here. I get tired of it. And if I give him my rules, he'll leave. And I'll be alone again. That's how hard my life is. Can you give me some important advice? What should I do?